Hi everyone, welcome back to the Justin Reese Show. Though we're not really here for that right now. I'm here to talk about the Bible. So, because I want to say, okay, a lot of us scroll on YouTube, we see things about the Bible and we look up preaching. Some people look up other stuff and stuff they shouldn't be looking up. I like to look up just regular cartoon shows I watch or Bible stuff that I like to watch. This is one show I really love right now called the Storybook. It's about these two kids and this robot who learn life lessons every day through the Bible, where they travel back in time, either after Christ or before Christ, learning about the Bible and the Bible. So I do want to say sometimes I scroll through either TikTok or YouTube and I look at what some people say. They'll tell about the story of the Bible or what's going to happen during Revelation and stuff like that. And I came across this one video that said back in the Bible times. And I see other people say back in the Bible times. What I don't realize is that, a lot of the stuff that's in the Bible for the Old Testament and a little bit of the New Testament did happen back in the Bible times. But what they don't realize is that we're still living in the Bible times. I don't hear people now say, "Oh yeah, we're living in new times." I mean, that's why I hear people say. Some people don't say it, even though they know that's what they want to say. But really, we're living in the Bible times, and we're still in, like the end days. That's Bible times. The day of Jesus coming back. Bible times. People getting saved and worshiping Jesus more and bringing people to Jesus. Bible times. We are still living in Bible times. Other people might not see that or think that, but if you actually read the Bible and if you're saved and you preach for Jesus and you know about the end days and stuff like that, we're basically still living in Bible times. And I always hear people say, "Oh, we're not living in Bible times no more. We're just living in other times now," or this or that. The Bible times are like thousands and thousands of years ago and stuff like that. Yeah, it was years ago, but if you think about it, we're still living in Bible times today. You do see what's going around, right? The Bible talks about what's going to happen, not only for that old times or new times, but for these times too. So we're still living in Bible times today. And if you read your Bible, you would see that. Not to mention, a lot of times the Bible talks more about what's going to be happening in hell than what's going to be in heaven or earth. It only talks about heaven or earth a little, but it talks more about hell and what hell's going to be like if you are not saved. And people that are saying that we're living in different times, no, we're still living in Bible times. These are still Bible times. So, any of y'all who think we're not living in Bible times, trust me, we are. We're still living in Bible times today. It wasn't just in people. I hear people say, "Well, see, this was like 1,000 years ago. Those times have ended." Or they hear about God, they will say, "Well, those were old times or the New Testament time." What in the frick is going on? There's so many gnats in my room. I'm about to spray to kill them because this is getting on my nerves. But back to what I was saying, I hear people say, "Well, God and Jesus were back in those old times or the New Testament times." These are different times. You can believe in whatever you want. Yeah, you can believe in whatever you want. But the Bible talks about what's going to happen to you if you don't believe in God or Jesus and you are not saved. Because you know why? Because we're still living in Bible times today. So I can go in here and say a verse like God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, whoever shall believe in him shall not perish, but also have eternal life. See, that verse was also back in the old times, right after Jesus died on the cross and rose 3 days later. And if you think about it, Easter is on Sunday. Can you also see the math too? Like what the world? But Easter is on Sunday, and it's in the Bible time because people celebrate Easter saying, "Oh yeah, the Easter bunny's coming." That's fine. You can do that for little kids. But if you're grown or if you're little and you also notice that it basically Easter does not just mean the Easter bunny or you're getting snacks or chocolate or treats. It also means the day where Jesus rose 3 days later. We're basically still talking about Jesus on that day. And that's something people should not be forgetting. Now, I plan on going to church on Sunday and praising him and talking more about him. But in the end, sooner or later, we're always going to go right back to talking about how to get saved. Because there's a song called Each One Reach One. If you look it up on YouTube, it's a really good song. It talks about how if we can get one person to get saved and bring them to Jesus, we can always go, they can go to another person, which will go to another person, which will go to another person, until a lot of people decide that they want to get saved, they want to go to Jesus, they want to do whatever they can to not only make him happy, but to follow in his footsteps. That's what we're trying to do here. And a lot of people say that was back in olden times, back in the Bible times, but we're still living in the Bible times today. So that's why I want to come on here and talk about. We're still living in the Bible times today. Nothing has changed. Unless Jesus says we're living in different times, then the only time people can say we're living in are the end times. That is it. Other than that, you can say whatever time you're living in. That's your choice. But I know what time we're living in. We're living in the end times. We're living in the end days. We're living in the Bible times. The Bible also talks about when Jesus is going to come back. Not only the second coming, but he's going to get his children who are saved, which is called the rapture. And that is what the Bible also talks about. If you are not saved, you will not be in the rapture. You will be for 7 years tribulation and for the second coming of Jesus Christ and the judgment day just judgment day. And then after that, it is hell with you. But if you are saved, the only thing you have to go through is the rapture and judgment seat of Christ, which is basically you will have to give an account of everything you did for Christ and how you served him, and you will get crowns for that. But throughout it all, as long as you live for Christ and you serve Christ and you help people get saved and bring them to Jesus, you won't have to ever worry. Especially though, the only thing you really have to make sure is that you are saved and you help other people get saved. But mostly just make sure that you are saved, because once you're saved, like I said, you don't have to worry about going to hell or going through any of that horrible stuff I just mentioned a few minutes ago. The only thing you will have to worry about, actually, no, you don't have to worry about anything. I think the only thing you have to worry about is actually making sure people who are not saved get saved before it's too late. And those are not just, and yeah, people probably come down saying, well, those are back in the older times. Guess what? They're in the older times, but they're also in these times, which is also called the Bible times. We are still living in the Bible times, end times. You can call them new times. You can call them whatever times. But at the end of it all, they are still called the Bible times. And I am about to go crazy over these flies, so I'm about to get my spray and spray them. But just think about what I said. Just think about it. And you can follow me on Facebook or Instagram. I should really post that on YouTube so y'all can see. So if anyone sees this and wants to get saved, and I will be gladly to help them help whoever get saved. And yeah, okay, you know what? I'm out. Thank you for listening, and God bless you.